A very good evening and a warm welcome to all the participants, professionals, and a guest speaker. I am Architect Manjari Krishnamurthy, host for today. On behalf of Four Spaces, Archi Design Talks, and VCollab, we take the privilege of conducting this webinar thesis on the topic Introduction to Architectural Thesis. I would like to welcome Architect Venkatesh Babu, sir, Design Chair, SRM Ramapuram Campus, to introduce the guest speaker for today. Thank you. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Uh, Good evening, Architect Manjari.
Yes.
I'm Venkatesh Babu, and I'm happy to introduce our special guest, Architect Murali Murugan. And I welcome you all for participating and listening to this webinar. Architect Murali Murugan is the principal architect of Murali Architects, Chennai. He is a star architect of Chennai. He graduated from School of Architecture, Chennai, and then he did his post-graduation in McGill University, Canada. His architectural practice spans more than 30 years, and he's deliberating his design philosophy through a spectrum of architectural and interior projects ranging from residential, institutional, commercial, healthcare, and hospitality projects. Murali Architects has got a distinct style of residential architecture that synthesizes the past and the future with the present. And his firm explores contextual design solutions, creating unique spaces that revolutionize the way we perceive them or we experience them. And he has won quite a lot of awards and accolades. To name a few, I'd like to read the following. He has got an excellence in residential architectural design in the year 2015, presented by the Governor of Tamil Nadu, Dr. K. Suroshaya. And he also has won in the year 2016 IIA's National Award for Excellence in Architecture in the commercial category for his highway restaurant in restaurant called Manoj Bhavan in GST Road. And he has also won the zonal level winner for the IAID 2018 award for his hearing aid center at Chennai. And he has been selected as an honorable member and awarded as honorable member by the IAA Chennai chapter and Tamil Nadu chapter. His millennial resident was recognized at a national level. And recently, he has won the All India Design Competition for the memorial for the Chief Minister, Dr. J. Jayalalitha, and he is presently doing that. And he had been a visiting faculty and a design mentor for many institutions, including School of Architecture and Planning, Anna University, Miyasi Academic of Architecture, Satyababa University, Department of Architecture and SRM University, both the departments in SRM University, and the Department of Architecture in Tyagaraja College of Engineering, and many other colleges. He had been a regular columnist with the Hindu, taking the architecture and the nuances of architecture to the common public also. He had written more than 60 articles in the Hindu. With this, I request Architect Murali Murugan to take over the presentation. Thank you.
Good evening, friends. So I first of all thank Professor Venkatesh Babu and the team of young academics and architects for inviting me to share my thoughts on architectural thesis to the young architects who are about to finish the college and who are about to step into the real world of architecture. It looks like yesterday, the day you have joined in architecture. 4 years have gone just like that. First year was a mixed bag of emotions. You were not sure, when you got into the first semester, a lot of excitement. But then the basic design was there. Each of us had different backgrounds. We were not really very sure how to go about. So we had our different yardsticks to adapt to the new basic design world. Then comes the single space design, wherein you are slowly getting introduced to design of single spaces. Just like that, the first year vanished and you moved into the second year. In second year, it was the starting of a new journey. The world of architecture begins. You are introduced to rural design, and we are also introduced to group of spaces. That was a lot more exciting, wherein it's learning a new kind of a vocabulary, and you are toying with that, you are playing with it, and you are seeing remarkable results. Each of you had your own paths, and each could come out with innovations. So it went on beautifully. Then moved on to third year, wherein you are about to master how the spaces can be interwoven, how structurally it can be made to stand, what are the different materials available, and you are beginning to use the architectural vocabulary in an easy manner. So till third year, you are very, very comfortable. Second year was good. Third year was also very good. The beginning of fourth year, you went for your internship, or maybe in the second semester also, later semester also. But then the whole world changed. You were thrown into large urban design problems, city centers, mega structures. You are not able to come to grips with the problem, unlike your second and third year. So you are learning another way of handling design to slow down a bit. This is an area where you are going to be totally involved and explore in a new way. So kindly do not worry about deadlines. We will see how to solve these problems. So what we are going to talk about is how to go about, how to select a topic, what is the right topic, whether the topic that you have chosen and your inner craving is one and the same, or are you compromising with the faculty who are pushing you to do certain way. So let us see how to select a thesis topic. So there are students who want to be very original. They don't want to do topics which are already done by many. So they feel they are unique and they would like to explore something out of the box. So that is one way of doing. So if there is a inner calling for some, you try and do that. For example, I remember I've been a guide for many years. For 20 years, I've been associated with SAP, their academic programs, and also Satyabhama's thesis programs and the SRM's thesis programs also. So there is one student, Satish Moses, I still remember his name. He wanted to do a thesis on archaeology. How he's interested in archaeology. So he said he will put up something relating to archaeology. So this guy travels from Chennai to Gujarat. There is an historical site. So he travels from here to Gujarat by truck, by auto rickshaw, by different means, and reaches that site, but did not have a solid program. So he went around and stays there. He doesn't, it's not a one-way visit. Many of the young, students of architecture, when they select the thesis, they go for half a day site visit, click photographs quickly, come back, compile them, and do the presentation without really having a very strong feel of the site. Whereas Satish Moses stayed there, literally stayed for 30 days, 20 to 30 days. So this Satish stays there for 30 days, then he identifies. Now this is an archaeology site, they are digging and they are able to excavate artifacts. Now what do we do with the artifact? He explores. He says now the scientists have to come, they have to do the carbon dating. So scientists doing research becomes a part of his program. And when this whole excavation is going on, like our Keeladi, when the Keeladi is going on, hundreds and hundreds of visitors were coming. They wanted to see what is happening in my place, okay, how my history was. So all the visitors have to be taken through. They are also curious to see the excavated objects. So Satish understands. So he needs to take these local people or the visitors to these excavations in a protected way. Otherwise, they are going to spoil. Like now in Madurai, Kiladi, a lot of young boys, they are throwing stone at the objects which they have excavated and breaking the objects. So Moses realizes that. So he says, I will create a glass bridge over my archaeological sites so the visitor can walk over that. So there is a visitor center he creates. And now foreign delegates may be coming. So when they come, they are also going to be curious and investigating. They need places to stay. The scientists need places to stay. So he weaves. It is like a storytelling. So he understands the context. By being there, he understands the concept and comes out with a very unique program and then unique design solution, which was selected as one of the world's best thesis. Archprix is one of the world awardee for awarding people for best thesis. Satish Moses was able to get that. Since he approached from a very, very original way, he was able to solve the program and at the same time he was able to show a new way of doing thesis. In fact, the drawing, he didn't, the initial study materials were his hand-drawn sketches, travel diaries, and this discussion with the scientists. They were the materials. So you don't have to follow the standard systems that everyone is following. So you can adopt new ways of doing things. You have to choose a topic that personally interests you. You cannot say, my faculty wanted this topic, so I've selected this, but whereas I don't like it. So if there is a situation like that, I think you need to speak to your faculties, many faculties, and then share what are the topics that interest you, and then take that, because this step is going to change your life. Like the way Rahul had approached, like the way Philip Johnson had approached, like the way so many people have approached, this thesis will really put you in a different path altogether. So kindly take care, not rush to a topic, not get forced by faculty to select a topic. And when you are giving the three options also, you need to be extremely careful. Don't ever add the topic which you don't like. Many cases, when the external people come together to guide you for selecting the topic, they may like the one of the topic which you don't like, they may ask you to do that also. So when you give topics, you be very clear about it. Okay. Now, third is set your scope. There are certain students who are very focused. They will say, I will take up a project. I don't want to take a huge, massive university or a township. That's fine. You can take up any topic of your liking, any size. But then, depending upon the topic, you should be able to go into the topic thoroughly. Suppose if you are taking, let us say, now there is a green school. There's a green school in Bali. So if you take up a topic which is small also, not a problem. But then you should, the whole green school was built with the bamboo, different variations of bamboo, and even the bridges were done with bamboo, the classrooms are done. So you need to be, exceptionally thorough if the topic is small. If it is larger, then you should have research component to this. So know what you are doing. Third is recognize what you are good at. There may be some people who may be interested in music, somebody may be interested in dance, somebody may be interested in games, somebody may be in car racing also. So if it is there, then pitch on that. Don't hesitate. If it is a sports mason, you can take up a topic which are relating to sports. But later I will come back to you later and then show how to coin them, how to get a topic out of the area that you like. Okay. Now again, there are some people who take topics and then halfway through find it that there is no literature. I remember there is somebody who wanted to take a thesis related to atomic center. But then poor guy, when he went to atomic center, it was a defense area, so he was not allowed to go in. and he could not see how the atomic centers were built. So halfway through, he gets stuck. So you need to be very sure whether your topic, you have enough research materials to work on. If not, you don't take up the topic, or talk to faculty and get their support, get their guidance, whether you could collect materials on it. Somewhere, thesis is again a special one, in the sense you have studied architecture for 4 years, 4 years now, 4.5 years now. It is a fantastic opportunity for you to check whether you have studied 4.5 years thoroughly. You might have studied about air conditioning, you might have studied about firefighting, you might have studied about structural systems. So there is a lot of science already inbuilt into our architectural syllabus. Similarly, art is also. So it's a fine chance for you to test whether you have excelled, mastered in both art and science. So this thesis will give you a scope wherein whatever you have studied in 4.5 years also can be combined, and you can, using your special skills, you can excel either in art or science, but let it be a combination of both. Similarly, the thesis is a gateway to your future. There are some architects, their VR thesis gives them a scope to continue. There is recently I came across an architect whose company name is Ant Studio in North India. I met him in a seminar. So this guy works on robotics. So he works on robotics in US, but then wants to come back to India because he's also interested in green architecture. So he comes back. Poor guy, when he started his studio, Ant Studio, he gets a project to put up a canteen near a huge factory's generator room. So there's a massive factory, there is a generator room next to it, and the poor guy is asked to build a small, very vernacular canteen next to it. So this Ant Studio young architect comes up combination of earthen parts combined in hundreds and hundreds, places them in front of the generator noise production, and then pours water. Using what all he studied in his robotics and the higher level of technology, he combines the technology from earlier Rajasthan, 1,000 years back, they've used the systems. Similarly, from Iran. So he is able to combine historical ways of solving problems with a modern approach. So now Ant Studio, you can check in the net also. So he is one of the world's young, promising, India's promising architect. So you have to follow what your heart says. So many a times it is intuition based. Many a times it's an intuition based. You should have a kind of a line of activity, what you are planning to do in future, where you want to be, how you want to be. To do all this, if you back work, let us say, if you can visualize where you will be after 10 years or 12 years, then if you can back work, then the thesis becomes the pathway. It becomes the gateway. So somebody says, I'm from Madurai and I want to go back to Madurai and practice. So this thesis itself can be a good pathfinder for you. So take up a topic which will connect you to your future practice happening in Madurai. So you also need to understand the future where you are heading to. There are some people who are wanting to solve real life problem. Now COVID is opening up lots of new dimensions. So wherever you see, you have new problems. So this itself can become a real world problem. Or there are people who may be talking about lack of parking spaces, lack of play spaces, all that. So you walk around and see in your city, in Chennai, or if you are from different parts of Tamil Nadu, go there and start searching. And if you don't want to be a futuristic guy, if you don't want to be a person who does not want to do imaginary projects, take up a real project. But when you are taking up a real project, you need to be thoroughly involved. You need to interview hundreds and hundreds of people. You need to have that kind of patience and the endurance to go on with the project. Now I'm coming to a small formula kind of thing, very interesting one, which I was not aware. Recently I came across and I thought I said how to select a specific topic. So you need to see who you are. You know, there may be some dancers, maybe there, musicians may be there, somebody may be interested in acting, somebody may have a scientific mind, somebody may be wanting to explore material, somebody will be interested in writing, sketching and all that. So identify what are your areas of interest. It may be one or two or more also. Then now a lot of big ideas are happening in architecture. Last so many years, last 10, 15 years, a lot of technology, movable, mutable spaces, transformable, sharing, 3D printing, robotics, passive cooling, sustainable harvesting, green building. So many vertical gardens, so many things are happening. So you may be also curiously interested in all these topics. So no harm in it. So you are interested earlier, you are interested in your own interest. Now, interest of the person you are. Okay, you may be a sportsman. So that's your inner quality. So keep that. And you may be interested in big ideas of architecture. So consider that. Then there will be some building types which may be very tempting for you. You might have done a travel. You might have gone on a tour. In that tour, you must have seen some museums which were very close to you. Maybe Charles Correa's museums or those are some of the institutional buildings. So something you have a craving for. You say, okay, when I do a thesis, I should really work on this type of typologies. So identify what type of building clicks you. So earlier we saw who you are, and we also saw the big ideas that impresses you. Thirdly, we are seeing the type of building. So three things are coming. Now let's look at the fourth one. You may be also interested in user type. You may be interested in technology, but then you may be interested in poor people. For example, our Abdul Kalam sir, when he was young, so his the country's rocket launching program, Vikram Sarabhi's programs were a big failure. So they were all kept on failing. So one night when he was Kalam was about to go for his sister's son's marriage, he was packing in Trivandrum he wanted to go to Rameswaram. So there is an urgent call from Vikram Sarabhai, Kalam, just leave. The military plane is outside. You just have to come and see me. So that was 11:30, 12 o'clock in the night. He already packed for his sister's son's marriage. So he reluctantly, but then duty comes first. You took the military plane, went to Mumbai to meet Vikram Sarabhai, and met him at 2 o'clock in the night. Sarabhai said, our rockets are failing. You have to solve this problem. So he comes out with the lightest material by which the rockets can be made. So which will help the load of the rocket to be reduced considerably. So he identifies the material, does research on it. 2 days he works on it, and the third day Vikram Sarabhai says, now tomorrow is your sister's son's marriage. You take the flight and then go. On the way back, he thinks, okay, this material is going to be the light material is going to be used for for the rocket launching. What happens to the poor people? Am I doing anything helping for the poor people? Then the poor kids who have lost their legs, who don't have legs, they were earlier days they were given a huge plaster of Paris legs, which are very heavy because there is a metal component in it, which is heavy for the children to carry and walk. So this guy, he uses the lightest material which he was suggesting for the rockets for making poor people's leg, the plastic, the new leg, so thereby making it light. So you identify the type of user you are interested about. You may be interested in musicians, you may be interested in health workers, you may be interested in artists. So this is the fourth category. Now the formula that we are going to make is, you take the first of what is your real inner core self and write it down. And you also the big ideas of architecture, whatever attracts you, whatever you are wanting to learn about. And the third one is the typology of the building which you are really interested in. And the fourth one is the type of user you are interested to cater to. So these four components, now if you can combine them, then you get your thesis. So now what I'm interested in, dance, music, actor, all that light material, the left hand side you can see. And then the right three columns are there. Big ideas also you listed. You can tick it also. You can write more numbers also. Okay, it is, we have just given some indication. And then the magic equation is, what if, let us say now building typology is, we are looking at Navy Training Institute, and the user is for IT professional. And the big idea is using robotics. So you can combine three different things, and then you can come out with a new topic. Similarly, like for example, a school. What if a school for poor kids in Jaipur, or poor kids in, let us say, Bhavani in Erode, or it can be anything, or in some town in Kerala. So he is based on sustainable architecture. So all these three things can come together. Similarly, housing also. If you are interested in housing, but then you may be interested in some vegans, or it may be based on green building. So you can combine all different things, you can combine, and then come out with the new topic. So a school for poor kids in Jaipur based on sustainable architecture. Similarly, the housing for vegans is based on green buildings techniques. Can be a new topic. So what if an institute for an artist based on robotic architecture is also a possibility. So now you can try this with your own ideas. You can come out with many combinations depending upon your interest areas. You may come out with lots of options. You can try that. So, and then when you are taking when you have listed down many topics, while selecting, there are two approaches is very much needed. After doing this thesis, what happens? Where you want to go? You want to go for PG? You want to go for some diploma courses? You want to go for some allied training or education? So that is theory-led approach. That's the first category on the left-hand side. So you may be looking at a master's, or maybe a diploma, or a change of career, all that. On the right, you have a thing that you want to go for working with some of the renowned, world-renowned architects, good architects. So Vastu Shilpa, maybe Biomi and Bangalore, or Morphogenesis in Delhi, Studio Mumbai, etc. So now, when if you are choosing, okay, I want to go for Biomi. Now, Chitra Madam likes people who have done research in natural environment. So your thesis can be like that, and then immediately you can go into her office. Whereas Vastu Shilpa is now more into large-scale institutional projects. Suppose if you are very much into institutional project, then you can very easily slip into Vastu Shilpa easily. Whereas now, if you want to go to Delft, or if you want to go Architectural Association, or if you want to go to CEPT, each of the schools have some focus, some specialization. And your thesis can be a stepping stone towards that goal. Yeah. So you can try it with this your own idea. So my suggestion is be fearless. Don't worry about what will happen if you take this. There is nothing wrong. There is nothing called failure in thesis. There is always a time you need to pursue. Now, if you look at Rahul sir, he spent 4.5 years pursuing his dream. He has not lost anything. He is considered to be one of the great architects of India, and now he is heading Harvard. So likewise, many people have approached differently and then reached a destination, which is a very happy thing for them. At the same time, they were able to contribute something special also. So I wish you all the best. Have fun doing thesis. All the best. And now, anybody who wants to ask questions, I'm here to answer your questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It was indeed a fascinating presentation.
Thank you.
And thank you also for enlightening us in orienting towards picking a topic that's going to be very interesting for the students during this pandemic crisis. I hope the session would have sparked many students the way in which they pick their thesis in the upcoming semesters. Yes, we are open to address the questions, participants.
So you will read out the question. The questions are coming to you, ma'am, Manjari.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The participants can post the questions. Participants can post the questions.
Actually,
Yes.
participants can type their questions in the chat box.
Professor Venki, if you have any thing, we can also have a small discussion on it. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. We got the first question from the student.
Yeah.
Sir, how to go about case studies during the lockdown period?
Okay, good. Now, if the case study is happening within the Chennai, it should not be a problem. But if your case study projects are elsewhere, let us say now, if your case, my suggestion is there are two ways to go about case studies. There are literature case study reviews. Okay, now let us say something happening in Rajasthan. If there is a project happening in Rajasthan, if it is for a museum, I'm sure a lot of literature case studies are available. You can do that. But if you want to physically see museums, in Chennai itself, you have plenty of museums. So first of all, many of us always think that you have to see the exact one. Now, it is not the case. Now, I've done nearly about 27, 28 hospitals and many schools. But whenever I want to do a new project, my first approach will be to approach people who are working. Let us say in a school, if I'm working in a school, I would generally ask the students, but then and then the faculty. But then that's a very shallow level of research. If I go and talk to IMRs who are working, they will be able to tell me a lot more. If I'm going to talk about the maintenance engineer, they are going to give me a lot more directions. So one need not have exact replica for case study. If you have a museum, you can go to Chennai Museum and talk to the curator there. You can go to, there are so many museums in Chennai, you can do that. But when the situation comes on right, you will be able to travel and then visit the Jaipur one. But my suggestion is there are a lot of case studies in and around our town itself. You can make use of it. Similarly, I remember for school, Professor Chaya, who will be presenting a lecture in the coming days, he said, he told Vijay Kumar, head of the CARE Center for Architecture, he said, Vijay, the minute you say school, it gives all the Western norms. The minute you say Padasala, the new way of looking at schools are opening up. So the Padasala happens everywhere. It is part of us. It is part of our Tamil culture or our Indian culture. So why not we call it differently? Same way now, if we are talking about case studies, for any project, it is available in the city that you are living in. Only thing is, you have to change your mind, tune it according to the opportunities available. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So we have the next question. How do you think we can do site analysis for our project without being able to visit the site?
Okay. Now you are talking about site analysis. Fine. Now let us say your site is in, let's say in Bangalore, you have a site, and you are in Chennai, and you are wondering how to do the analysis. Fine. Now, recently, there is a competition which I was about to show also. Sorry, I showed it. It was in Andamans. So we had a team of people who are, I would say, about nearly 20 people. We wanted to be part of that. and working on it. And all of us wanted to see the site, but then the money restrictions were there. So we didn't know how to go about, and the project sponsors were also not willing to pay the money. So we called our entire office. We said, how do we do research in Andamans without going there? So one young bright architect came and told, sir, my classmates are there, few of them are there. They can go around, click photographs, they can show the video, we can have a talk here. So then they can go the next day also, they keep sending the information, so we can do that. You won't believe, we did the whole competition by using our friends who are in Andamans. So they were able to go to the site, they were able to click, they were able to speak to people around. All the questionnaires were sent from here. So it is possible. Only thing, you need to seek help. You can put it in some social forum also. So any architect living here, can you kindly help? I remember there is we wanted to know in Kal, there is a thing called wind catcher. On one Sunday, I was working with the young 3 architects. I was talking to them about the Arabic traders, how they landed in Karaikal, and how they built houses using this wind catcher from Iran. So the young architects were curious. Sir, இது எப்படி சார் நாங்க பார்க்க முடியும்? இது உண்மையா அப்படினாங்க. So you won't believe, we typed out Karaikal engineers in the net. So we got 4 to 5 engineers' names and the telephone call to the company. We called, you won't believe, it's a Sunday at 3:30. Probably after a heavy meal, they were sleeping. We called and put the speaker on, and all young architects were sitting around. And we called and spoke some engineers. They said, Amma sir, it is there in each of our houses. So it is located above the living room. They described everything in detail. 45 minutes they described in detail. So if you are keen and if you want to get information, you can get it from anywhere. So COVID cannot stop you. And I'm sure with your determination, you will be able to reach anywhere. I remember there is a young Professor Jafar A.A. Khan. He was doing his architecture in SAP, he was our junior. And he wanted drawings from some of the world-renowned architects. He used to write from here to England. They kept sending information. I remember Vijay Babu, another renowned architect. He wanted to know from Skidmore, Owings and Merrill how to do large-scale projects. So they sent drawings. I'm talking about 35, 40 years back. People were sending materials from America to here. So now, if you want information, I'm sure there will be hundreds and hundreds of people will be there to support you.
Yes, sir. So we have a challenging question, sir. What is the scope for taking live projects in thesis during this pandemic situation?
Okay, live projects during this COVID time. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if this is in your town, that's not a problem. If it is, this lockdown is for very, very general people. Now, if you are a researcher, there are so many ways. Sometime back, some young boy's mother died, and I shared some link to that person. And after 1 week, the boy says he was able to use the link and he was able to reach the place without any problem. So if you are a serious researcher, and there are officials who are kind enough to support you. Now, in this COVID time, each zone, like let's say Adayar, there is an IAS officer earmarked clearly. So you can reach that IAS officer and tell you want to go to Purushavakkam and see. He will willingly give you permission. But if you are talking about some other town traveling by air, then the whole problem comes. But if your interest is genuinely solving real life problems, then you should be part of the problem itself. Suppose if you are from Arakonam, then the problems of Arakonam is close to you. If you are from Chennai, problems of Chennai are close to you. Instead of taking some other problem from Bihar, some place, I feel you can, if you are keen about solving real life situations, there are hundreds of problems around us. You can walk across and go. When a girl can ride a bicycle for 1,500 kilometers, take her father in the back of the bicycle, travel and reach a destination in 7 days' time, I'm sure you will be able to do your real life studies within your town without any problem. Yeah.
Sir, due to limitation of time, I would just try to concise with the last question. So, there's a student that's asked about taking topics that are hypothetical. Since it's COVID and we don't have proper resources to visit case studies and we don't have proper reference in taking. So, is it advisable in taking hypothetical?
Yeah, it is very much, it's very interesting. I would recommend people who have that inclination to take up topic of that hypothetical nature. For example, now Zaha did, when she was working on a thesis, the professor was, sharing. There is nobody else was working in the studio. It was all, futuristic. All the thoughts were futuristic. So you will visit the studio at 12 o'clock. She will be alone working with one same movie playing for the entire 3 months or 4 months. So most of our projects are futuristic. And, when you look at the life of Zaha after graduation, he started her office, first year no work, second year no work, third year no work, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, seventh year, eighth year, ninth year, 10th year also no work. But she kept the office open, but contemplating always on her futuristic projects. So one time there was a competition for Hilltop project in Hong Kong. She won the competition, but due to some situations, she could not, really do it. She was not, the project did not happen. But then after that, again, 11th year, 12th year, 13th year, 15th, 14th year, 15th year, she kept on working on her futuristic thing. Finally, she got a project which is fire station. So any young architect would have really felt so bad. They said, what you can do with fire station, how futuristic one can be. But she broke all that. She broke everything, whatever the world, preserved for. And then she said, this is also another way to look at future. So the Vitra fire station has set the world on a new path. So my congratulations to people who are taking hypothetical projects. There are things like Mars housing. I remember 15-20 years back, people taking Mars housing, but now it is becoming a reality. So please do not worry about what is the result. If it is in your heart, kindly pursue that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, participants. You can mail us the questions. So we would like to take the feedbacks from Murli sir and then get back to you at the earliest. And I would like to call Architect Venkatesh Babu sir to give away the vote of thanks. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, Murli, it was very fascinating and interesting. I still remember the way I discussed with you about my BR thesis, and it has been happening from 80s. So Murli has been guiding a lot of people from 80s, and I hope this will be a real eye-opener for many of the students of present day. And thank you very much, Murli. It was very interesting and very explorative. The students will be really helped by this presentation. Thank you, Murli. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Venkatesh Babu, Professor Manjari. Thank you, and Prashant, and all the young architects who are part of this. I'm thanking all of them. Thank you.
Yes, sir. A huge thanks to you, sir. In a short notice, this is a grand success for helping us through the webinar session. And thank you, audience. Thank you for being patient enough even at the end of the session. And we would also like to tell you that we have the upcoming sessions, which has a lot of interesting topics regarding your thesis and the way in which you pick, and a lot of interesting speakers also. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.